Hi, it's Jason Waters and welcome to my Mortgage Minute. Today I'm excited to have Rolonda Andrews with us. Hello, Rolonda. How are you?
I'm good, Jason. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, Rolonda, your background is interesting to me because you're not only an agent, you've created a software that you're going to tell us about. So, mostly for investors. So, I'm super pumped about today. For as a mortgage lender that deals with investors every day and people buying investment homes every day. So, tell me a little bit about your software first.
Well, REI Property Pro is a software I created a couple years ago. I just wanted to streamline the process for investors with how to analyze property. One of the biggest things that investors would overlook is the holding costs when analyzing a property. They would consider the cost, the purchase price, the end sale, but the holding cost is just as important when you're calculating your end profit. So this software encompasses all of that, and it also includes some contracts, forms, addendums, search engines where you can look up property profiles, comps for properties, and so much more. You can create a free account as well, and we do have paid accounts that encompass a little more information. But it's just mainly for investors to streamline the process just so you don't get into a bad deal.
Okay, that's great. And someone can find that at what, reipropertypro.com? Is that it?
Yes, the letters REI propertypro.com.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to checking that out. All right, so that kind of leads us into your real estate business as well. So tell us a little bit about your real estate business, what you focus on, how you got into it, just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I've been licensed since 1999. I've been primarily working with investors here recently. Initially, when I started, I was working in a retail business, meaning working with primary homeowners, people looking for their first home, next home, or their forever home. I started out at Remax. I was mentored for a couple years with a guy that was a top producer at Remax before I branched out on my own. I stayed with Remax for about 11 years. And then I realized, I needed a little more support. I wanted a little more support, a company that had more support in the commercial part of the business, and a company that offers systems as well for their agents. So I did some research and ended up at Palmer House Properties. 11 years later, I'm proud to say that I'm still there, love the company. But as you mentioned, working with investors, it wasn't something I started out doing. If you've been in the business long enough, you have very fond memories of the real estate bust in 2007 and 8. And as you're in the mortgage business, I had a mortgage company as well. I used to do subprime loans. And so we know what happened to those loans at that time. They all went away, vanished, poof. So did that company. And I had to reinvent myself, Jason. I had to then focus on what was around in the market. Investors came and they saturated the market. I had some experience already. I purchased my first investment property in 2000. So I wasn't new to the investment arena, but I knew that that was the market now. So, fast forward, 8, 9 years later, the investors are the ones that I primarily work with. I understand the language. I understand how they analyze property. And so I have quite a few of investors that I find property for and help them locate their financing as well.
Okay, great. So, what percentage are investors now? Like most of your business?
Yes, probably about 90% of my business
Okay.
right now is investors. I am venturing back into the retail market. I am building a team now, Team Synergy Atlanta at Palmer House Properties, where I'm bringing on a few agents
Okay.
to tackle more of the retail market.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about more investors. Certain types of homes or certain areas of town that you focus on.
Mainly in the Southwest area, East Atlanta, by the
Okay.
East Golf Course. Um, Fix and flip type properties is really what's prevalent right now. I do have some investors that would do some buy and hold rentals, but primarily the fix and flip properties are what they're looking for.
Okay. And are these folks normally fixing it and flipping it to a long-term hold investor or an end user?
They're fixing and flipping it to the retail market, to,
Gotcha.
someone that's looking to own the home and live in the home as their primary residence.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Good to know. So what's your advice for folks that want to get into the investment world in terms of investment homes, whether they want to be a rental or a fix and flipper? What would you tell them?
Well, first and foremost, you have to do your due diligence. Education is key. If you're feeling a little hesitant, get yourself a mentor. It's priceless. Someone that's been through the ropes, been through the ranks, can help you and guide you along the way. Is really what you need, especially if you're really, really new to investment, because there is a lot of moving parts to
Okay.
doing successful investment.
Gotcha. What about capital? I mean, I remember years ago, a guy on late night TV saying, "Hey, you don't need any money to get in the investment world." I just find that's probably pretty hard to do, right?
Yeah, typically, you can find those deals once in a while, and those
Yeah.
are what the wholesalers try to do. They try to find a property at one price and wholesale it to an investor at another price and add their fee on top. At times you can do that, but again, there is a process and a system with that as well, because you have some very professional wholesalers out there that does that for a living. So it's possible, it's plausible, but not always guaranteed for the newbie that's coming out on board first time.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I mean, one thing I really want to do on the show is that we're educating, potential buyers, sellers more about real estate and more about agents and lenders and so forth. So wholesalers. So you and I know what that is, but some people that just they don't understand what that means in the real estate world. So you talk about the different levels of investment, starting with wholesale.
Yeah, wholesaling, basically what they would do is find a property. Say it could be a distressed property from a homeowner, or out of town or out of state owner that just want to sell their property. They're offering to purchase the property as is. So the seller is not required to fix up the property or anything. And their idea is to potentially sell that property to another investor who will in turn fix the property up and sell it on the retail market. So the wholesaler is like the middleman
Okay.
from the seller to the actual investor that's planning to fix and flip that property. And they will put their wholesale fee on top of whatever that price is. If they purchase the property at 100,000 on contract, they may sell it to the investor for whatever over that price that they can agree with that investor. And that difference is what the wholesaler would make as their profit. And that's what some of them do day in and day out for their part of the real estate business.
Okay. Good. I don't know if I have the stomach to be a wholesaler, but I've met some in the past, and it's just it's an interesting market to be in. They definitely serve a purpose, but
yes, it is very interesting, and some of them create a daisy chain where so many of them put their price on top of the property. The next one put their price on top of the property, and then the property is now priced outside of the market where it's not beneficial for any investor at all. So that's why it's very important to do your due diligence and not get caught up in a so-called daisy chain where you're pricing the property so far outside of the market where you're not really realizing much profit.
That makes a lot of sense, Rolonda. So I think we're almost out of time. So Rolonda, tell me this: how can folks get in touch with you if they want to work with you to buy some property?
Real simple. My website is smartbuyingandselling.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at All Things Real Estate by Rolonda. And Rolonda is spelled with 2 O's, Rolonda. So either way, I'm very accessible.
Awesome. Great. And if you want to reach me, you can always call me at 404-403-8787. You can go to my website, watersteam.co, or really the best place is go on Facebook and just search the Waters Team or Jason Waters, and you'll find me there. And we would love to connect with you and make sure you know when we have episodes like this with Rolonda coming on, so you can continue to learn about the business, and hopefully we can help you buy or sell your home. So until next time, hope you stay safe and have a wonderful day.